How come Jesus can die on the cross and God considers that full payment for humanity's sins? But if someone rejects Christ, they have to spend forever in hell because of their sins. To answer this question, I'll read a passage from page 215 of Dr. Norman Geisler's Systematic Theology, Volume 3. An evaluation of the theories of the atonement. First, as the recapitulation theory asserts, Christ went through all the stages of human life, resisted all temptations, died and arose a victor over death and the devil, thus making all the benefits of his victory available to us through participation in him. Second, as the ransom theory affirms, Christ did pay the price to purchase us from the clutches of Satan, though the price was paid to God, not the devil. Without the atonement, we would still be in bondage to Satan and consequently to sin. Third, the moral example theory contains truth, for Christ's death did provide an example of faith and obedience that inspires us to be obedient to God. Fourth, the necessary satisfaction theory gets to the very heart of the atonement, affirming that it was necessary for God's offended justice and honor to be satisfied by a penalty that only Jesus could pay. Because he is the God-man, Christ's death had infinite value, and hence could restore the honor due an infinitely holy God. Since God cannot simply remit sins, a reparation must be paid, and only a sinless person could pay it for humanity. Fifth, there is truth even in the liberal moral influence theory. God is love. His demonstration of self-sacrificing love at the cross does have a moral influence on us. Sixth, building on the necessary satisfaction theory, the substitution theory rightly maintains that such an atonement was a substitution for the sins of all human beings. Absolute justice has been violated, and therefore a substitution for our sins had to be made by the sinless Son of God. Seventh, although the need for God's satisfaction is not optional, again, the optional satisfaction theory correctly affirms a man effectively atones for an offense when he offers to the one who has been offended something which he accepts as matching or outweighing the former offense. Christ's suffering and loving and obedient spirit offered more to God than was demanded in recompense for all the sins of mankind. Christ's passion, then, was not only sufficient, but superabundant for the sins of mankind. As John says, he is a propitiation for our sins, not for ours only, but also for those of the whole world. Eighth, even the governmental theory is not without verity, for it truthfully affirms that, in his holiness, God has established laws of which sin is a violation. As the sovereign ruler, God does have the right to punish sin, which is inherently deserving of punishment. Likewise, the governmental theory correctly stresses God's love and notes that while he does desire to forgive sins, he wishes to do it in such a way as to maintain his moral government. Ninth, and finally, as inadequate as the mystical theory may be as a full explanation of the atonement, there is an element of truth in it, for salvation does involve a mysterious spiritual union with Christ. Indeed, he is the absolute unity of divinity and humanity. In brief, God became man that man may become like God. Even Paul spoke of the mystery of the union of Christ and the church as bridegroom and bride. That was a discussion of Christ's suffering on our behalf. But what about our own suffering? What about the problem of evil? Dr. Greg Bonson's article linked in the video description takes a look at God in light of human suffering. Thanks for watching.